Broadcasting live from atop the Rocky Mountains, the crossroads of the West. You are listening to the Liberty Roundtable Radio Talk Show.
Energy markets remain volatile. Donald Trump battling with the Federal Reserve on a non-issue. Trump renews pressure on Fed Chairman Powell. Progressive surge on campus. Trump flips on 702. Russia and Ukraine still battling it out. And we, the people, sadly, taxpayers have to fund it all, and honest money. Happy to have you along, my fellow Americans. I'm Sam Bushman with hard-hitting news the networks refuse to use, and it all starts now. Breaking down the broadcast today with me, our dear friend Eldon Stahl, well known as the regional coordinator or field coordinator for the John Birch Society, jbs.org to learn more about what they do, and their incredible magazine called The New American, thenewamerican.com. Eldon Stahl, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, Sam. It's awesome to be here.
It all starts with honest money today, because today's our honest money. He's not with us. He's out with family and taking care of business. But in the meantime, though, the honest money report, we got gold at about $4,800, silver at about $80. So that's the kind of honest money update on that. It's tragic because the University of Michigan researchers are finding that they say copper prices must double to fund new mine developments. Now, I don't understand that. Why are the universities involved in copper and mine developments in the first place? But listen to this. The current cost of copper, like $13,000 a ton, okay? They say prices need to reach over $22,000 per ton to cover the output of the cost of a new mine. This finding was published in a group called Energy Research and Social Science. Now, how this is energy research and how this is social science, how this is tied into a university baffles me, right? The study, they say, anticipates global copper demand. They say it'll rise from 23 million tons to 37 million tons by 2050 and up to 90 plus million tons annually. Why? Because of the electrical vehicle driven world. Whatever that means. Research used data from copper mines in Mongolia, Panama, the U.S., and other locations. The team suggests accelerating mining approvals while maintaining, quote, environmental and community protections while they fuel this demand. Eldon, do you want to tell me what the heck universities are doing in the middle of this, first of all? Second of all, what do you mean the cost must double? So they're saying, hey, to get it out of the ground, what we're charging for copper right now can't sustain that. And my response is, do we need all these electric cars? Do we need all this to double in the first place, Eldon?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Mostly the electric car industry is like the wind farms and the solar farms and a lot of these things, the carbon sequestration of the carbon dioxide. A lot of these things would be much smaller at the very least as far as industries if the government would not subsidize them in various ways through tax credits and sometimes outright subsidies. But I remember doing
why are we even paying these clowns to study this, first of all?
Well, that's another good question, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Is it really something that should be studied, and who should pay for that, if anything? I just think a lot of these things are we have a situation here in Wyoming, just headlined the other day, a solar project, solar farm, or whatever you want to call it. They decided not to go forward with the project of construction just because they couldn't find anybody to buy the energy that they were going to produce. That's a big problem, isn't it? It's a non-viable business
Well, it's
plan.
this kind of redneck idea without government, communism, socialism, fascism in the middle of it. It's this idea of supply and demand, sir. It's very basic. People want things. People,
Yeah.
fulfill that desire or need or want. And if you don't want it, need it, desire it, people don't build it, sir. It's a redneck simple,
Yes,
right?
of course. Yeah. And so that's why you see some of these groups saying, well, now we need to have a mandate on the electric companies so that they buy X% of their energy from so-called renewables. Well, that, you know, and a lot of times that doesn't happen in practice because they do all this credits, swapping and
Yeah,
different
they
things. So
play
it's just a
games
big
like,
scam.
hey, we're a zero emission company. We're green. It
Yeah, and
turns
they
out they're
all
just spending
advertise
a
on
gazillion
that.
dollars. They're just spending a gazillion dollars to pretend they're not the guy that's mucking up the environment, right? I mean, it's a big old lie,
Yeah,
is what it is.
yeah. So there's all kinds of issues with that. Um, but
Well, anyway, all I know is this: a lot of these car manufacturers that were going to crank up electric vehicles, and we heard by 2030, 2035, hey, you won't even be able to buy a normal gas or normal combustion engine vehicle anymore, and now all these companies have backed off that and went, whoa, wait a minute, no one's buying these electric things, and well, now
yeah,
that Donald Trump has an energy crisis, Trump renews, I guess, the energy markets remaining volatile as continued Middle East tensions keep pressure on oil supply routes and, quote, fuel price expectations. Now, I don't know why it matters to us. We don't even get our oil from over there anyway. So I don't know why that affects us, but they claim it's global pricing. Well, I don't know how global prices affect the United States. If the United States wants to, produce oil products, and we internally want to use them, how does that affect world pricing? I don't understand any of that, except for they're playing games and they've created this interdependent disaster called the global economy that we must play in and depend on and everything else. That's got to stop. And so if Donald's for America first, I would say, Donald, let's first say, why do we care about what the world oil prices are? If we can produce our own internal capabilities and use it internally, why do we give a rip if the folks over in Iran or Saudi Arabia or whatever want to charge $3 gazillion a barrel? Who cares? See,
yeah,
I don't
right.
understand the interdependent games we're playing here, Eldon.
Well, back in 1776, I think we declared independence, didn't we, from
That
Great
was
Britain?
the supposed plan, and I think then we did. I think we've now kind of reconnected ourselves in very unhealthy, sovereignty violating ways, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. And there's so many of these things. A simple way a person might break it down is to say, okay, to your congressman, okay, what is your title of your office? Well, it's U.S. representative or U.S. senator. That's United States. That's what U.S. stands for. It doesn't stand
Yeah.
for some other country. It's just United States. So what should your priority be? It should be representing your state, your district.
Yeah,
And
you
those
could
people,
say that, hey, I'm a Utah Republic state representative at the federal level. I mean, that's really what it is. The problem is they get money from all these foreign agendas, and they get this and they get that. And but now President Trump renews pressure on Fed Chair Powell, and Powell and Trump kind of at a war of words. And Powell's saying, as long as you guys claim this new building we're creating is a fraud, I'm staying here. And Donald's like, if you don't leave voluntarily when your time's up, I'll fire you. And I don't mean to be rude, but President Trump is again pushing for Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell to be replaced because he's watching the markets and he's like, hey, we want interest rate policy to change. We want to lower interest rates, and inflationary concerns are a problem and all that kind of stuff. And my response is, Donald, all you got to do is abolish the Federal Reserve, make a fake coin to pay off the fake debt, tell these clowns to fly a kite, shut it down entirely, go back to constitutional currency, and you don't need to debate anything with Mr. Powell. Period. End of paragraph. But see, Donald in kind of a clown show, hey, I'm going to renew pressure on Jerome. Jerome, you got to get out of here. Jerome's like, nope, not leaving. And now we just have this stupid stage show that has nothing to do with really constitutional money or honesty or integrity. Has everything to do with a clown show. It's like political theater. Just shut down the whole Federal Reserve, shut down the IRS, then you don't have to worry about those clowns either. But see, none of this is real in terms of real action. We're just going to get a new, Federal Reserve chairman in there that'll be the new boss is just as bad as the old boss, Eldon.
Yeah, I think you said it extremely well, Sam. The Federal Reserve needs to be phased out and abolished. That's not something that happens overnight. But the best thing Donald Trump can do is use the bully pulpit and stand up and provide leadership, real leadership, for phasing out and getting rid of the Federal Reserve System, which has been an absolute disaster for our country. We need
And if you want a reality TV show out of it, Donald, get your headlamp on, roll into the Fort Knox, and tell me what's there, buddy. If you want some reality TV in the mix, because you love that, then by all means, roll in there, man. Get the FBI and the CIA behind you, armed to the teeth in case there's aliens in there or something, and just roll in there and show us what's up. If you want reality TV, that's the way you get that done, my friend. Meantime, let's shut down the unconstitutional criminal organization called the Federal Reserve and the IRS. It'd be great for midterms, I might add.
As the United States boldly stepped forward in the glorious light provided by its new Constitution in 1787, the nations of the earth were in awe of the newfound strength and hope of this free land. Today, the nation stands at a crossroads. A divergence from the original intent put forth in the United States Constitution has brought grave threats to our beloved nation. A miracle is needed if the United States is to survive. That miracle is again the pure application of the United States Constitution. I'm Scott Bradley. In my To Preserve the Nation book and lecture series, I bring forth truths that will help raise up a new generation of statesmen like those noble Americans who founded this land. Vigorous application of these principles will invigorate and restore the nation, and we may become again the freest, most prosperous, most respected, and happiest nation on earth. Visit topreservethenation.com to begin that restoration.
Are you watching what's happening in our country and asking, what can I do? Join the John Birch Society in Salt Lake City, June 6th, for a powerful one-day conference. The day includes a host of respected speakers, 2 meals, and meaningful connections. You'll gain clarity on the issues and walk away with practical steps you can take to your community. Reserve your seat today at jbs.org/SLC26. That's jbs.org/SLC26.
All right, jbs.org/SLC26. Ladies and gentlemen, you can attend the June conference. It's incredible. We're going to be having speakers on Sam Bushman, Eldon Stahl, John Birch Society, jbs.org, or thenewamerican.com. And we're going to be having some of the speakers that'll be at the event on. I'm telling you right now, it's a fly-in to Salt Lake City event. It's going to be that good. I'll tell you that right now. And we're telling Donald Trump if he wants to make real traction for the midterms, don't just have a clown show debate with Jerome Powell. My dad's bigger and smarter, faster than your dad. My dad can beat up your dad's stupid stuff. Just simply shut down the Federal Reserve. Then you don't even have to worry about Jerome Powell. Okay? We can let the interest rates take care of itself. It's called the free market, Donald. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, my friend, but if you have, then you should know, and you should be getting that done. You've been been in office 5 years now plus. And all I've heard you do is babble at the, mouth about the Federal Reserve. It's horrible. They're changing interest rates. I want my guy I think I should be able to change the interest rates. You're not Jesus, Donald. Okay? You were elected president, and you swore an oath to the supreme law of the land, which calls for honest money. Constitutional currency, sir. So get it done, and get it done right away, would you please? But there are people that are trying to abolish the Federal Reserve. We just need Donald to help the cause, Eldon.
Yeah, it's Thomas Massey is the sponsor of the Federal Reserve Board Abolition Act, H.R.
Amen. See, so Trump should be backing Thomas Massey, not trying to get Thomas Massey removed from office, right?
Exactly. And also Mike Lee in the Senate, S-869, same name, Federal Reserve Board Abolition Act. And those, if you can write to your congressman or pick up the phone, easiest, call them and say, hey, I want you to support this Federal Reserve Board Abolition Act. Get on it. And it needs to pick up steam.
Amen. Energy markets remain volatile. You wonder why. We're manipulating the economy big time. But again, I also say if we produce our own oil, let's just use our own oil. And we don't need to worry about what the cost of oil is on the market. in global markets. All we need to do is say, how much does it cost to get it out of the ground and refine it and make it available for our people? Isn't that the real number, Eldon?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what we need to do.
Because if you can get it out of the ground and make it available for our people for a certain number, what does the global have anything to do with it? Well, Sam, because we can sell it on the market. Not if we're going to, be honest with ourselves. We're going to say we're not going to sell it to anybody. We're going to use it internally first. You clowns get the oil reasonable across the globe and we'll talk. Until then, we're going to go ahead and just do America first, baby. For reals, America first this time. Not just game playing, babbling at the mouth talk. We're going to for reals do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you used to be for the more perfect union. Are you for a more perfect union, Eldon?
I am, in the sense of the founders said.
All right. So there's a movie called A More Perfect Union put out by Brigham Young University. It's been around for a long time.
Oh,
it's a
yes.
great
Great
movie.
film.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm for a more perfect union, but now they've co-opted it. Remember how the liberals are so great at naming things, so great at taking over everything that we do? Like you got the Freedom Act or the Patriot Act, or you got this or that, and it's all just clown show, destroy your liberties under the guise of lies, right? Okay.
Yep.
Well, now there's a, quote, progressive surge on campus. And this progressive surge on campus, they're trying to counteract Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization. So, and the progressive surge on campus is called More Perfect Union. It challenges Turning Point with a new university program. Now listen to this. More Perfect Union, a progressive media organization. Listen to this. It's controlled by, or the person at the helm is Bernie Sanders' campaign veteran. I don't even know how to say the name. Faze Shakir announced the launch of More Perfect University in the More Perfect Union project. And the initiative aims to engage and mobilize college students against conservative values propagated by Turning Point USA. And their goal is to focus on, quote, economic populist themes and cultivating young media influencers. The program, they say, will feature in-person and, quote, digital activities across multiple campuses with notable support from figures like Bernie Sanders and Lena Khan. I don't know who Lena Khan is because I don't, roll in those circles. But nevertheless, a more perfect union now. They've co-opted that term. And so now you don't really want to promote the film because pretty soon people will be mixed up and they'll think you're a Bernie Sanders backer, Eldon.
I would definitely recommend the film. It's on YouTube. It's a great film. But,
it is, and it's available.
Well, one way of looking at this is if you're getting flack, you're over the target. And
you're right about that.
It seems like the progressives feel that, there is a real threat from Turning Point USA, and at least organizing and mobilizing some of these young folks or younger to get involved and understand some basic principles upon which our government was and our country was founded. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to pan out, because usually at least on the college campuses, the strategy has been to avoid debate and essentially have a one-sided bubble in the university
that's
environment.
exactly what they'll do. They won't have debates. They'll just bring their own speakers in. Bernie will talk to campuses. They'll put their money where their mouth is and have the media. Let me tell you why this is going to be successful. Because the liberals always put their money where their mouth is. We don't, but they do. And so they're going to have a big impact on campuses, folks. I hate to tell you this. We lose funding everywhere. For the more constitutional, the more bold and defending of founding fathers we are, the less funding we get. But the more propaganda, the greater the funding. And so I predict Bernie Sanders and company will get plenty of money from George Soros, who knows? It'll filter through Hillary Clinton and company, or Barack Obama and company, or Joe Biden and company, or, who knows? Bernie Sanders and company. This is just extreme. But they put their money where their mouth is, so I bet it'll be successful. I really think so.
To a certain degree.
Progressive surge on campus. How big will the surge be? The initiative aims to engage and mobilize college students. Think about that. Engage and mobilize. You're going to have in-person people like Bernie Sanders rolling in there to promote it and stuff. And so pretty soon Barack will be on campuses and Hillary will be on campuses. Chelsea will be on campuses. And, they'll get AOC rolling out there and it'll be their big push. And they'll put money behind it. So we'll keep an eye on this ball. I just wanted to tell you about it. And again, now they've co-opted More Perfect Union. Just think about that. We continue to lose, because we don't create good names, good terms. What we do is create like MAGA. And then we say, make America great again. And now MAGA is so divided, no one knows what MAGA even means, Eldon. What does MAGA mean now? Go to war?
Well, it's like many things, it's very subjective. But More Perfect Union.
Is MAGA Donald's Jesus?
I don't know what,
Did you see Donald put up his Jesus AI stuff?
Yes, I did. I thought that was really
clown show,
bizarre.
Poor judgment, lack of professionalism, a disgrace. Shall I keep going?
We can go on and on with adjectives. That's right. That's I don't know. I wonder a lot of times recently, is he really making these posts, or is it somebody it's either him being
even if somebody else is doing it,
or what?
Even if somebody else is doing it, if he disagrees, he needs to come out boldly and go, wait a minute, hold the heck on. He hasn't done any of that. Holly basically came back and said, I was posing as a doctor. Now people are sending out memes mocking the Dr. Jesus thing even. So, the problem is, does he really think that's going to have traction with the people? Or is he just saying, I'm out of the limelight and I need controversy? What is the deal? Because now Donald Trump is flipping on FISA 702. Yeah, he was once burned by FISA, once attacked by that spying, and now
spied on.
He's demanding the renewal. President Donald Trump is urging Republicans to unite behind a, quote, clean extension of FISA Section 702. And they say it's it's needed. It's going to expire April 20th. And Donald really wants everyone to jump aboard. Has he lost his mind? It almost seems like the president's trying to self-destruct, Eldon.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Donald Trump. It comes down essentially to speculation, but we can know for certain that there's been a drastic kind of a 180 on so many issues with Donald Trump. And of course, it comes down to basically three possible reasons. It could be, he had a sincere change of heart and he wants to go a different direction. It could be that he's, like some people say, he's got some mental issues, you might say. I suppose that's a possibility. Or it could be that he's under duress. You might say somebody has putting pressure on blackmail, whatever. Maybe there's some other possible explanations, but that's, and whichever you choose to believe, good on you, I guess. But because I don't know how
Trump is literally calling 702 a critical national security and current military operations necessity. And now we got Russia pounds Ukraine in overnight strike. So we've got war cranking up on all sides now. At least 16 people are reported dead. More than 100 injured after the major overnight Russia attack, marking another sharp escalation in that war. I don't really know how to respond to it, folks. U.S.-Iran truce talks continue. Is that even true? Trump says it's true, but the Iranians say it's not. Who do you believe? Diplomatic efforts, they say, are underway for the current ceasefire. But hey, shipping concerns are a concern. So what gives? Hard to say. When we come back, I want to talk about the Pope. Him and Donald are having a battle, but I agree with the Pope. Let's see what you think. We'll do it in a second. Thanks for being alongside for the ride. I'm Sam Bushman. If you want to check out the incredible work for the John Birch Society, thenewamerican.com. God save the Republic of the United States of America.